A great sign of maturity in our lives is whenever we can encourage ourselves. Sometimes nobody else will encourage you. Sometimes circumstances won't encourage you. There's times when people won't encourage you. But you know what? You have to have the ability to be able to encourage yourself. You know, there's a wonderful story where David and all of his men, everything seemed to be going great for them. They were doing really well. And then they were attacked, had all of their stuff robbed, their wives, their children were robbed. And the Bible tells us that David wept to the point that he had no more tears left. I mean, that was a broken man, and the rest of the people were broken. But you know what? The people then turned on David, and they talked about stoning him. But you know what? You see the makings of David here and the quality that he had. David wasn't a man who trusted in himself. David wasn't a man who relied on self-help. David was a man who looked to God. And even whenever circumstances came against him and people turned against him and he lost everything, the first place where David would turn, he would turn to God. And David went to God and said, God, shall I pursue and shall I overtake? And God told him to pursue, overtake, and to recover all. And you know what? David, he encouraged himself. He encouraged himself in God. And that's something that we need to be able to do. We need to be able to encourage ourselves in the Lord. And sometimes no one else will encourage you. People will come against you many times, but you have to have the ability yourself to be able to encourage yourself. And that means when you start to speak to yourself, and you start to speak to yourself and remind yourself of what God says, remind yourself of the promises of God, remind yourself of what God has said about you. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. The ability to encourage yourself is a wonderful quality. And I encourage you, do you know what, if you're feeling down today, I encourage you to start encouraging yourself, but not in yourself. Not that you're ever such a great fella or you're ever such a great girl, but that you're going to talk about how great your God is, and that your God is working on your behalf, and that your God is for you, and that your God is not against you, and you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Do you know what? If you have had things robbed out of your life, if the enemy has come and taken things from you, I want you to know that God wants you to pursue, overtake, and to recover all. And you do that in His strength, but it starts by encouraging yourself in the Lord. So I encourage you today to encourage yourself, have the character and have the ability in God to be able to encourage yourself in the Lord.